Okay guys, so let's take another closer look what I had to do. I know, another one of these deep dives. Reason being is I ended up breaking a C-hub carrier, one of the original plastic C-hub carriers on this side right here. And I was driving in that corner and it was going through and I torqued it through and it popped the plastic, you know, right in half. So I went down to the local hobby store and ended up getting the plastic, the SSD, you know, the aluminum C-hub carriers, and then went back home, found out that the originals actually were one piece. Didn't realize that. So I had to go back to the hobby shop and ended up getting the SSD Pro 44 axle. So what that is these are aluminum right here, and the diff gear area is plastic, which I'm a little concerned about, but we'll see how that works. So I got the SSD aluminum C-hubs in here now. The steering hubs are still the originals. And one other thing too, since I'm taking everything apart, I just kind of greased up everything on the car, added grease into the the black grease into the transmission gears. I've got to do that before. I realized some of the shocks weren't filled. There was kind of a bubble, you can feel bubble inside there, so I had to re-oil them, just add a little bit of oil on there. So at that I also did additional work to them. So okay, so I don't know if you noticed, but I flipped the shocks. So I've been seeing it on a lot of the G-Speed builds and some of the onlines. To be honest, I really don't know what the true reasoning behind that is, but once I flip them, the car is, it kind of drops down even lower, which is kind of cool. I like that. It's to the point where the front tires, when it's fully extended out like this, it actually rubs on the body now. So I'm going to do some trimming on the body to prevent that rub. And you're going to see that in the video later on. But they actually ride just a little bit lower, and it's actually pretty cool. I like it. One other thing too that's different is I got the programming, the Bluetooth programming from Castlelink, so I was able to fine-tune my ESC. Let's take a look. I love the stubby, leave me alone. So it's still bound up to my original Tactic stubby. I have a Rugged 5, I have plenty of DX3s, just because I have a Rugged 5 from my other rigs and the bigger ones, this just feels comfortable in the hand, so I'm keeping it this way for the time being. Alright, so and at first I thought the ESC was kind of loud, but as I'm getting used to it, I like it. It's powerful. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is, let's see, look at this. So I did set a throttle curve on this thing. I have so much control over this right now. I love it. That's my touchy finger. And then if I needed to go, so it's a 3S battery, so if I needed to go pretty fast, I can. I could do donuts on this car. It's definitely got more power to it, so I like it. I did a test run with it earlier, and the performance is quite nice. Like I said, with the test run I was able to determine that it was rubbing on the sides, but it is a little bit lower now. It's more of a lower LCG vehicle. So it was an exploded view. Well, not say exploded view, but in fair view. You guys kind of saw my next video on this one. Got a sneak peek there. That was accidental. But since you saw it anyways, there you go. And because I added a little bit of front weight because of the aluminum, I guess the axle sides, you know, the car definitely picked up just a smidge of weight. And I'll go over that in a minute. I weighed everything already. I don't want to risk breaking my knuckle. That's kind of where I broke my last one. No, I don't want to. At this moment, I don't want to bind up anything. Yeah. Good thing. Okay. Alright. So, while I get this on the rig over here, I'll show you a couple of things I did for cosmetic purposes. Alright. Beefy ass ESC, and just turn that off. Okay. So, alright. I said I wanted to Dremel down these right here, which I did already. Okay. And once I flipped this around, I had to really Dremel down because I couldn't fully extend them down because this was rubbing and stuck. So I had to Dremel that down. Just added some black acrylic paint there. The weight that I have over there, added some black acrylic paint there. Alright, and let me just kind of turn this around and show you more. So that blue tape that I have there, that's kind of glued in. Added gray, kind of just to blend that in into that plastic. And that's just for cosmetic purposes. And I'm not a fan of Velcro in my batteries. I use these little rubber, I think these are kitchen. You get these for anti-slip for your kitchenware stuff. But a lot of people use these for airplanes. So I have a strip here that's hot glued in, and then a couple of folded up strips here. Not a couple, just a folded up strip here. And that's hot glued in here, and then I don't like the white, so I just added a little bit of black paint to it. And that's where my battery is CG, so it keeps the battery kind of more towards the middle, the weight towards the middle. And I have the front body clips currently over here because usually when I'm having the vehicle rested over there or rested, I don't like having the body clip on. And these as well. Okay, so with the body clips, with the body on, the vehicle looks like this. If you want to see how it sits, let's take a look here. Make sure the tires are on the edges. There we go. So it's not. So, yeah, I'm liking it a lot. So give me one more second here. Let me just rest the car down and I'll show you, unfortunately, because of these changes, what I'm sitting at now. And I think as long as nothing else breaks at this moment, this car is pretty much set where it needs to be. Hopefully I can find an event within my schedule and try to see how I do. But in the meantime, let's take a look here. Alright, let me just turn this around. Alright, so a couple of things now. So from 25, we had to end up adding 3 more things. So we had to add the aluminum axles, the C-hub here carriers, okay, the aluminum link mounts. That sucked. I put everything together. I was like, wait a second, where is the suspension link and the shocks mount to? And then I look online and realize I didn't have that piece, so I had to go back to the hobby store to go pick up that piece. Alright, so now with everything added together, I have a total of 28 modifications. Okay. And this is tax included. 977.54. Okay. In upgrade parts, the car was 362.16, which is 329 plus tax. Total 1339.70 is what I had invested in this rig. It added 2 ounces because of the aluminum in the front. So it was 6 pound 3 ounces, so now it is 6 pound 5 ounces. And it was originally 54/46 ratio, now it's 56/44. So a lot closer to that 60/40 ratio. The car can basically go straight up like this and end up resting on that back piece and just kind of sit there, which is kind of cool. But yeah, let me see. I'll show you that video. It's not going to do that in the video, but I just want to show you a performance video of this current setup with the ESC tuning, the way it's set up right now with the shocks, and also the front axle change. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so this is a test run of Twinkle Toes, the trail honcho. I had to make some modifications, so testing it out and see how it's working now. Let's take a look at the control. That part is as controlled as it can get. Alright, beautifully. And then if I need to punch with the throttle curve on that I have, I can do donuts with this car. So let me just walk out to the course. It's windy as fuck out here. So one thing you'll see is I changed the suspension links. Now the rod's going up. Seems to be working quite well. Oh, what's going on with my lights? Oh, the solder drop. Here we go. What the hell? What the hell? Did he break? Well, anyways, so it's working so far. So this is like freaking easy to this car. Look at this control. Fucking love this. This is badass. Check out that spider web. Everything is still very well planted. Plenty of control there. Let's see how well the rears are planted from here. Make sure there's no spider webs in my head. Okay, well, there's a full articulation there. Oh, that's pretty cool. Alright, I'm liking it. Okay, so even with the flip suspension, okay. Let's take a look at the control coming down here. And then we'll come around to the rock climb in just a sec. Okay. The fronts are well planted. So with the rear, perfect. Okay. Sorry for dragging something out so long, but I just really want to show the articulation of the setup right now and the power, really, the control. So one of the biggest things, I'll explain it in explanation videos, as you'll see. Oops, too fast, rolled it. This is one of the issues that I do have with this vehicle, is the 3S power is definitely a lot stronger, so I tend to roll the vehicle by full throttle. I just have to be careful with that. Okay. Alright. Just gonna back it back down and we'll try to take a look at the climb coming up from the front. Alright, so what do you guys think of this? This is pretty much the setup that I'm going to be trying to run in my first competition once I find out when my first event near me will be. So, hopefully the wind is not too loud. transfers or nothing. Like, I'm not even falling off with the transfers. I am lowered, so as you can tell, I'm rubbing the body a little bit over there. So you may have to trim some of that out. Let's see. Maybe trim the fenders off. I'm not sure. We'll see. Easy peasy. Just gotta do the stair climb one more time. Yeah, that fender needs to be trimmed down for sure. Crawler's not supposed to go that fast, but sure. I don't have enough front weight to bring me back down to climb. That's one of the issues I have. The trick is not to get straight up like this. There we go.